Hi friends, thought of doing a video about Jyotish. What is Jyotish? Because I did one in Sinhala, but I want to do one in English. Um, do you? I'm sure most of us would have wonder why me, why now, kind of questions, or why am I blessed differently, or what am I here for, or is my life controlled by some way? Or just the life runs on a timetable up and down kind of thing, or am I responsible for all my circumstances? These kind of questions comes to our mind all the time, you know so this is what because the light is from Jyotish on these kind of questions. So we can look at the answers at the end. This is a quick video. Jyotish means light on life. Pretty much put a complete light on life. It explains what is happening in life. That's why it's a light on life. That's what it means. This is one of the ancient sciences originated in India, like Ayurveda and Vastu. Ayurveda is for the medicine. Vastu is for the construction field, like architecture and all that. These are ancient sciences, and like Ayurveda treats the illness to the source instead of the symptoms. Vastu really helps people to build the proper houses with some blessings in it. So this is kind of science. So it's Jyotish is another science, and this is a precise science. Absolutely, it's totally precise. There's nothing else that matches this level of predictive ability from this science. If you look at my other videos with my predictions, like peak of COVID cases, it's to the hour you can predict, because there's no other sciences that can predict such a thing. Jyotish shows blessings and difficulties brought to this lifetime, which is called natal triggers. All the blessings what we carry to this life and the difficulties. And also, so therefore, the Jyotish is based on reaping of karma. Karma means what you sow, what you will reap. Same principle, that's in the Bible also. So this same thing is Jyotish is totally based on reaping of karma. Whatever we have sown is what we are going to get now or in the future. Whatever we sow now is what we are going to get in the future. So this principle is so clear in this science, in Jyotish. That is why light on life comes about. And there's no other science in this world can reveal mysteries of life like Jyotish. Absolutely none. There's no other science anywhere near there. Jyotish leads person to understand who they are, leading to happy and fulfilled lives. Because once you understand what you brought to this life and what are your limitations, what are your blessings, it's very easy for you to accept that. And then whenever disappointment comes to your life, you understand it's another event. And it is because if I don't deserve it, it would have never have happened. So this is what the Jyotish give us the understanding. It makes a person very contented, because you're not looking for any more answers or blaming others, or looking for any other answers. So the Jyotish is time-based science, given to mankind by God. This is basically locations of the planetary positions at birth, because there's no other system that can give us this kind of a knowledge which is based on the time, because our lifetime is a time, and also the planetary positions that keep moving around us is also time. Planet has nothing to do with this. This is just a science that explaining using planetary positions. So it is nothing to do with the planets here. So please don't misunderstand that. These locations at birth shows us the good and bad karma. fructifying in this lifetime. And a precise timing of such events uh, can be found. Also, health related events. When something about Jyotish is that it clearly shows what kind of a chronic illnesses you brought to this life. That is a very, very valuable source. Like, let's say you have a malefic influence on your Venus, you have a kidney issues. If you have a malefic influence on your Mercury, I mean the position, Mercury position where they were, that means you have asthma or a lung related issue, or like that. It's a different situations, it shows up like that. So it's a medical side is extremely valuable. Jyotish removes jealousy, ill will, anger, revenge from person completely, because once you know what you're blessed with, and you don't have to be jealous with anyone else, because you know that the other person is blessed differently. So if that person has brought whatever, and whatever you brought is different from that person, so we don't have to be jealous. Instead of, we should be able to be happy about if someone else is doing well more than us. Also, you don't have to have ill will or anger or revenge. None of those applies anyone who understands Jyotish, because it has no use at all, to being angry with somebody, or fighting, or being jealous, or anything like that. And then once you learn this, you will always practice the true love, kindness, compassion, and help others unconditionally without expecting anything in return. You will help others completely for good karma, and find happiness in giving rather than receiving. Many people find happiness in receiving than giving. But once you understand Jyotish, you will be much more happy to give whatever. It doesn't have to be money itself. You can give your time. You can, care for someone like that. If you have money, of course, you should help in money terms. Understanding of your own Jyotish chart will make a person medium for good, and refuse to be used as a medium to punish others. Because what is happening now is many people immediately get angry, or if something negative happens in life, you get angry with the medium that is used to punish you. But whatever bad things that happen to you, it's your own bad karma fructifying at that point in time. It is someone is being used as a medium to hurt you. So it is getting angry with that medium has no use whatsoever. So, like, that's why you have a problem with the family. Like, you might get angry with your friends. It doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to get angry with someone else for your own bad karma. You need to because once you know this, you can understand to the date or to the hours when someone come and trouble you, because of it meant to be happening that way. But once you understand this science, you will not be a medium for bad. You will never, you immediately know that you are being used to punish someone else, because their chart shows that, and your chart, because you are karmically connected with the other person, and if you cease to hurt others, then you will be only for the medium for good. This is a very simple truth that many people do not understand. There is no point in getting angry with anyone else for your problems, even though you feel that they are the cause of it. It's not. They are not the cause of it. It's your bad karma is the cause. It's just a fructifying at that point, because you saw that seed and it is fructifying now. So we just need to accept that fact, right? And if this is the case, the problems occurring after you get angry with the other person stops. Otherwise, this thing creating new bad karma again and again and again, and creating, your life will be miserable. So this is the quite a valuable truth to understand. And Jyotish chart shows a good and bad periods, because none of us go through good time all the time or bad time all the time. Sometimes we have a really nice period, all of a sudden we find in some illness or some bad time happening to us. That is how the karma fructifies. So you have a good period as well as a bad period. We call it dasa in Jyotish. We can understand what those periods are. It's very, very clear. It's once you have proper exact birth time, this is clearly can be understood. And also Jyotish promote good karma, because once you know it's karma is what is causing the trouble to you or good to you. Because if you have good karma, you are quite fine. I mean, you don't worry about anything else after that. But once you have bad karma fructifying, whatever bad seeds that we sown, and then it starts to fructify and get trouble in life. And this is a great blessing to learn. I mean, it's hard to learn. It takes a little time to learn, but it is a great blessing. I mean, life changing, and that's happened to me. So this is why I'm doing this video, just to educate others. It's not I'm trying to make money or anything like that. This is not for masses. This is not, definitely not for masses. It's only blessed people understand this. And here it is, like here is a chart based on a time, birth time, exact birth time. Birth time is the time that cut the cord from your mother, separating you from your mother. That time, if you have that time and we can enter that time with the correct coordinates, you get your chart. And I'm a lot of software there. I'm using something called Junior Jyotish, which is free. Like it's basically, this shows is 12 signs and the planetary positions. It's not the planet that's value, it's a position that value. Like this is called a most effective point, and this is like, okay, this is 29.50, and whereas this is 27.25. And that has a significant, I mean, I cannot teach this in 2 minutes. That's something I learned in 20 years. So this is how a chart looks like. And like these red planets, I cannot teach you how this comes about, all of that, or green planets or the other planets. It has a meaning of each one. Like what the planet means is that it is not a planet. Like, okay, let's say sun. Sun means father. The sun represents father among many other things. Moon represents mother. If the sun's condition of sun and condition of moon will tell you what your mother is like or what your father is like. It's absolutely there correctly. And Venus means your wife or your spouse. And Mars means you could be your siblings. Like that. It's a different things. Rahu means deception. Ketu means inflammatory situations. Like, I'm just giving you one word on it, but there are a lot more significations on each one for us to learn. Once you learn this, you can totally clearly see what your life is all about and what happened in each period. Now these are the periods here. Like on this side, like right now he's running this period of Mars, Saturn, which is a big period. Like he went through these periods already, and then he's running this period. I mean, this example chart here. So this period is running. And we know like certain times, like he must have had some trouble in these periods here, this period here, and and this period, like that. And also a very important thing to know is that this is a planetary positions or the degrees on day you were born, but none of these planets is just a picture of the sky, but these planets keep moving. They keep moving. So what happens is that let's say this one here, like if this planet moves close to here, like let's say this is 24.03, and if this one comes close to 23.3, which is a 1 degree difference, you will find a lot of difficult time starting there, and it's go to the peak of, when the 1 degree, when any planet comes close to 1 degree of this planet here, this position here. I'm keep using the planet because it give you a wrong impression. But if this position is here, and then anything come close to 2403 within a 1 degree, events happens. That's how exactly happens. Nothing else happens. It doesn't happen outside of that. If you like any event that happened in your life that you consider major, it is there. It happened between a 1 degree or 2 degrees maximum. That is how it happens. So this is why you can predict something for the exact date if you want, because tomorrow is the final day of the peak of this particular transit. We call this transit because they keep moving. So this is how you can predict things correctly. Hopefully, I'm just giving a 2 minutes thing here. Jyotish is translated as Vedic astrology in English. Unfortunately, word astrology gives a wrong impression to many people. They think it's evil and that kind of stuff. Jyotish is not astrology. Jyotish is light on life. But we use the word, astrology. So that is the problem we are having, because there is no exact word in English that can we say Vedic light on life? I'm not so sure. This is only for the seekers. If you believe something, then that ends there. But it is only for the seekers. If you truly want to understand how life operates, you can see, once you understand 1 or 2 events of your life, after that you don't even have to bother looking at any of these things, because you have a complete understanding. You can watch my other videos. I explain things and I make some predictions, pretty much good predictions. So you can look at those ones if you want to. Otherwise, if you really want to learn this, you can go to my professor where I learn this science. V.K. Chowdhury, professor. This is his website, yournetastrologer.com. I'm not affiliated for this at all, they don't know what I have even write this over here. So, they have probably 100 lessons there explaining every single thing. This kind of a knowledge sharing is it's beyond comprehension. And you can say, that's why I'm saying God bless him for sharing this knowledge, because I learned this out of disaster in my own life, health wise, and then I learned this from him, and then I come to completely terms with the situation and not worried after that, because it gives me a really inside knowledge of how life works. Now the questions that we have, ever wonder why me, why now? Of course, this is fruits of karma. Whatever you have done previously, life is a very long journey, and we appear, we disappear. So whatever you do in this life is not necessarily comes in this life itself, so it can, that is what it is. What we said earlier is the natal triggers. Natal triggers is what karma we brought to this life. So anything that we do today is, definitely going to affect tomorrow or way away from now, because we keep appearing and reappearing. This is what is happening. So it's fruits of karma. That is why now is, if you look at the transit, the thing I told you about within coming 1 degree of a planet position, this is how it happened. That's how why now is very clear. Why me is also very clear. It's your own doing. And why am I blessed differently? It's again fruits of karma. Whatever you carry to this life is what you're going to be blessed with. And whatever other person carried is what other person going to carry, But understanding this is what is important. And what am I here for? We come here for experience. Okay, I want to be so and so, I want to be that, I want to live with my family, I want to do this, I want to do that. And also you have to pay for your karma as well as enjoy your karma, because if you have done good in this life, you're earning money in the sleep. But again, sometime if you have done a lot of bad karma, of course you will be suffering. Is my life controlled some way? Yes, karma is controlling it, because you have limited amount of free will. Free will is like a limited amount. The free will is to decide whether I should do this or I should not do that. Because if I do this, is somebody going to get hurt? That is the only free will you have, pretty much. Because if you do something and it's going to affect someone else, you should not do that. That is the free will you have. Because if you take a decision, not if somebody blame you for your own karma or somebody hurt you for your own karma, it is worth for you not to respond, because you are creating another bad karma on top of that, and also it creating the bad karma for the other person. So you should never do that. That is why life is controlled by your karma. How much karma you have is the free will you have. It's like a some animal tied with a rope. The animal can only walk around the rope is the karma. So does this life run on a timetable? Of course it is, because dasa periods are when we have a good karma blessing, then we have a good period. When we have a bad karma, then we have a bad period. And then transiting sensitive position, which I explained, within 1 degree of moving another planet close to a planet that was in the position of your birth, that is where the event happened. Nowhere else the event happened. Every single event in your life happened like that. There are no accidents in this life. Absolutely none. Am I responsible for all my circumstances? Yes, absolutely. Because it is your own doing. Whatever happens to you, don't get angry with your loved ones. Absolutely no use, or your friend or anything like that. Try to understand this. If you can understand this, go to Professor's website. There are so much lessons there. You can freely understand it. And then once you begin to understand this, you will see you're blessed so much. It is such a big blessing to understand this. And then you will be always a medium for good after that. I think I said, I don't want this to be long. Hope you learned something. If you learn something here, you can subscribe, because I'm going to do some more videos to explain these. If not, if you're now interested in this, you don't have to.